Hello everyone, I'm Jeremy Geckner with the Front Row Movie Reviews, and this is your weekly box office report with stats from our friends over at, you guessed it, boxofficemojo.com. At number one this week, it is no surprise, it is the latest installment of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Spider-Man Homecoming. The web slinger brought in a cool $117 million in the US alone on its opening weekend. Now that is slightly below the 120 projected after the Friday estimates that really saw a big boon for the web slinger, but that is still the largest opening for a debut movie of a character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and that $117 million from the US is joined with another $133 million from overseas, giving this a cool $250 million global opening. This is going to be a huge summer movie. It might have a shot at catching Guardians of the Galaxy and Wonder Woman for the top spot at the US domestic box office this summer. Coming in at number two this week was Illumination's animated sequel, Despicable Me 3. This brought in an additional $33.9 million, bringing its US total up to $147 million, and now its global total stands at a cool $447 million. Now, while this is on pace to still be one of the lower grossing in the four-film franchise, this is still making a ton of money overseas, over almost $300 million, so this thing is still going very strong. We'll see how far it can go for Illumination. Coming in at number three this week is a film that continues to overperform from what most thought. That is Edgar Wright's Baby Driver. Now, this critically acclaimed action movie has garnered another $12.7 million in its second week of release, bringing its US total up to $56 million. Now, that continues to be the largest total for an Edgar Wright film, far outpacing Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Coming in at number four is just a movie that will not go away. Warner Brothers and DC's Wonder Woman. In its sixth week of release, it brings in another $10.1 million. The thing is still in the double digits. This brings its US total up to just under $370 million, which means it is right now on pace to try and catch Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 for the top spot at the box office this summer. That also brings its global total up to $745 million. This thing just keeps going strong. There is literally no end in sight for Diana and the Amazons. And rounding out the top five this week is Michael Bay's Transformers: The Last Night. The fifth film in the Transformers franchise brought in another $6.2 million in its third week of release. This brings its US total up to $117 million and its global total to just under $500 million. I'm Jeremy Geckner. Hey, thank you for watching this. Go to thefrontrowmoviereviews.com where you can find all of our box office reports, every other video, and of course, all of our podcasts. Coming up for you this week, we are today releasing our full disclosure on Spider-Man Homecoming. We had a great discussion there with our friend Hector Roman Jr. from the Mind Grenade podcast. And also this week, we're going to be dropping the first full episode of our brand new show, Are You Afraid of the Podcast? Hosted by myself and my wife, Sarah. We go through every episode of the classic 90s Nickelodeon horror anthology, Are You Afraid of the Dark? So make sure you subscribe to the feed so that you can get those episodes before it moves to its own. And of course, the Zone-isodes are going to be bringing you one of the most critically acclaimed episodes of The Twilight Zone of all time. The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street. You will not want to miss this episode. I'm Jeremy Geckner, and as always, we will see you in the front row.